In just over 2 months' time, former NFL player O.J. Simpson will be a free man after being granted parole.
So he served 9 years of a 33-year sentence for a botched Las Vegas hotel room robbery. And it's the latest twist in the life of a man who is never far from the spotlight. Here's Pip Thompson.
It was once claimed he was the most famous person in America ever tried for murder. O.J. Simpson, NFL superstar, actor, and the man sensationally acquitted of murdering his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman. In 1995, the world was gripped by that slow-speed car chase on Los Angeles freeways, watched live by an estimated 95 million Americans. The subsequent 8-month trial signalled a new era of reality TV. There was Simpson not fitting into the glove found at the murder scene, and the Kardashians' father Robert famously part of his legal team. Then in 2008, exactly 13 years on from being cleared in the so-called trial of the century, Simpson was convicted over a bungled Las Vegas hotel robbery after trying to steal sports memorabilia he claimed belonged to him. He'll walk out of prison in October, and once again, the world will be fascinated by O.J. Pip Thompson, Good Morning Britain.
Well, joining us now from Nevada live is a lifelong friend of O.J. Simpson, Tom Scotto, and also civil rights lawyer Gloria Allred, who represented Nicole Brown Simpson's family in the O.J. Simpson murder trial. She's live from LA. Good morning to both of you. Tom, let's talk to you first. Have you spoken to O.J. Since he was told he would be freed? I mean, we saw the relief across his face, of course. I think he'd said, "I wish this had never happened."
Yeah, well, we got to visit him 2 hours before the hearing. I was actually in the hearing room, and then we got to visit with him 2 hours after the hearing.
And how was he? What was his reaction?
Oh, delighted. He's coming home. I mean, of course.
Has being behind bars...
Excuse me?
Has it changed him? I mean, what kind of personality is it? For many people, he is the person we saw on our TV screens up for a murder trial, but of course you know him as a person.
Yeah, well, I heard one of your reporters say he was the same arrogant O.J. and wasn't humbled. I disagree with that totally. I was sitting right across from him, and he was totally humbled and not arrogant at all. He's been such a positive inmate and influenced the inmates in there and to the prison. I met with the warden. They told us what a pleasure it was to have him, and everybody wanted him to go home. And it was great. It was a great moment.
What's it been like visiting him in jail? What kind of conversations can you have with a man who's facing that kind of sentence and with all that's gone before? You know, how did you keep him positive?
Well, for years I felt very guilty because, you know, he's serving as best man at my wedding when this happened. That's why he was in Las Vegas. And then when we visited with him, it's unbelievable. Like when I saw him today, before I even got in the door of the room, I said, "O.J., you look fantastic." I mean, when I looked at him this morning, he had no stress, no worries, just a clear, great attitude. He's always been positive. He's never complained about his sentence. He's never complained about anything in the prison. They said everybody treats him well. You know, he made a mistake. He knows that. And, you know, he was hoping for this parole. We were all praying for this parole. It's been a very hard couple of weeks for all of us. Yeah.
Yes. Well, look, Tom, stay there, because while you're very relieved to see him come out, we must talk to Gloria Allred, who represents a family who I'm guessing have a slightly different reaction. Gloria, have you spoken to them? How do they feel about this release?
Well, Denise has no comment, but I did represent the family during the O.J. Simpson criminal case. And all I can say is that, of course, today, we know that he was being, he was before the parole board after serving 9 years on his felony convictions of conspiracy to commit robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and numerous other crimes. This man then sat there before the parole board and said he's led a conflict-free life. Unfortunately, under the laws of the state of Nevada, Kate, they could not take into consideration that although he was acquitted in a criminal murder case, in a civil lawsuit against him, he was found by a jury to be liable for the killing, for the death of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, may they rest in peace. And a jury awarded punitive damages against him.
Yes.
Damages to punish him for what they would find was despicable conduct, conducted with malice or oppression.
Gloria.
And that, I think, should have been taken into account in the sentence, in the decision on the parole board's behalf.
To release him. Gloria, can I just ask you, I mean, what do you think the reaction to him will be across America? Is it still divided? Or is, in some people's view, is he still seen as the sporting hero? What do you think lies ahead for someone like him now? And we'll ask Tom the same question in a moment, of course, because he knows him.
Well, I mean, I think that the majority of the American people have indicated in most polls that they believe that Mr. Simpson should have been convicted at the murder trial and was acquitted and should not have been acquitted. I think that's the majority view. He is, of course, an infamous celebrity. He also pled no contest, tantamount to guilty, to spousal battery of his wife, Nicole, in 1989, where we saw a photo of her at the civil lawsuit with a blackened eye, a split lip, a swollen face, bruised. And this because Mr. Simpson did, in fact, plead guilty or no contest to spousal battery of her. But that seems to be a distant memory for some supporters of Mr. Simpson and wasn't taken into account today by the parole board.
Well, let's go back to Tom. You know, with feelings that strong, I mean, Gloria, you can see still very passionate about her position that she argued, very angry as well, about that she argued in the original trial. What will you be saying to your friend about how he should proceed with his life, and what plans do you think he's made?
Well, I'd like to respond a little bit to Gloria and say that she does not know the man. She's never met the man. She's an attorney, and she must believe in the legal justice system. If you believe in the legal justice system, he was acquitted of murder. Okay? He was acquitted of murder. There's no doubt that he went to jail in Las Vegas, not for being at my wedding or some guys that did something they shouldn't have done. He went to jail, and it's undisputed that he went to jail because of the California murders. There's no question in anybody's mind that he went to jail for California.
And that is not
for
why
Vegas.
he went. And by the way, he didn't go to jail, he went to prison.
And let me finish.
And it wasn't because of that.
Let me ask you something, Gloria. What do you get out of representing these victims besides fame?
Well, what I get out
money?
of... Well, stop interrupting me if you would, please, and let me finish.
Well, I'm the one talking. I'm asking you a question.
Okay,
what do you get out of this besides fame
you don't
and
have
being
to
on
repeat.
TV?
All right, don't be rude, please, and let me answer the question.
I think that you're
being rude.
arrogant attitude.
Having said that,
I think that your
I'll
arrogant
appreciate it if
attitude.
Kate would allow me to answer.
Well,
So,
but I think your
Tom,
arrogant attitude
Let
towards somebody you don't even know.
let Gloria answer your question, then we can all hear what she has to say. Help me.
I will say that I am proud to represent victims. I've represented many, many victims of celebrities, of sexual predators, of killers, and I might add that members of the family of a murder victim are also victims, and you know,
for no money,
violence against women is not a joke. And Mr. Simpson had the audacity to sit there before the parole board today and say he's led a conflict-free life. He's never used a weapon on anyone. Well, of course, the victim can't speak back. The victims, Nicole, who had her throat.
He may have meant during his time in prison, and we know that a lot of people reacted like Gloria in a very angry way.
I guess you were there watching the murders, Gloria. I guess you
Tom,
saw it, and you know
we
it was
have to
O.J.
leave it there. I'm so sorry,
can't
but actually,
rerun the trial.
Let me
We
just
can't
say
rerun
what
the
it does
trial.
show. Thank you to Gloria and thank you to Tom, both of you. What I think it does show is that when this man comes out, he divides a nation. He is still seen by some people. I find it fascinating how you can remain friends with somebody who's been accused of so much.
1993 was that trial which divided everyone.
Yeah,
everyone gripped.
he's now
And
70
still
years
the
old.
Anger is there. Well,
it's extraordinary.
Yes,
It
he will
whips up
come
a
out
lot of
to an
emotion.
interesting world, won't he? Very interesting. Good to talk to both of them this morning.
Yeah, fascinating stuff, actually. Right, still to come. Well,